Hello students, today we are going to do resistances in series and resistances in parallel, very introductory level which is required for all. Resistances in series, resistances in parallel. The circuits which involve resistances in series and resistances in parallel are called simple circuits. Sometimes the circuit may not be able to, may not be able to reduce it using resistance in series, resistance in parallel. That will be called little complex circuit. So our lecture goes on like this. We are going to write various points on resistances in series, resistances in parallel. So if I take three resistances, 1, 2, 3, I name them as R1, R2, R3. Resistance is something which consumes energy. Battery is something which gives energy in an electric circuit. So through battery, charges will pass and gain energy. Through resistor, charges will pass and leave their energy and go back to battery. That is, the cycle goes on. So this can be one bulb, this can be one fan, this can be one refrigerator. They are connected in series. So electric socket is the agency which supplies energy. And other gadgets what we use in our house are resistances which consume energy. So the fan, we don't represent it as if we don't draw fan here. Fan is represented with a symbol called like this. So one of the students long back asked, why can't you stretch the wire and make it straight, sir? That is meaningless question. It is a symbol of resistance. It is not a wire which we have to stretch it along. So if somebody is having that kind of confusion, please avoid it. This is a symbol of resistance. If you write like that, that's called symbol of resistance. Resistance is a gadget which consumes energy. Similarly, if we write one resistance here, one resistance here, and one resistance here, and name them as R1, R2, and R3. Then how to define resistances in series and resistances in parallel? We have to define it. Why? Because sometimes if I keep the resistances like this, one below the other, such that current enters like this and goes like this. This is similar to this. Even though they are looking like three parallel lines in your mathematics, they are looking like three parallel lines. This cannot be called as parallel. This is said to be series. So once you define it only, you will understand what is parallel and series. Like mathematics, one below the other is called parallel lines. That kind of lines is not correct here. So if a current I enters, current means charge flowing per unit time, entering into this resistance. The same current should enter into this resistance, the same current enter into this resistance. For example, I call the current into this is say I1, current into this I say I2, current into this I say I3. All should be equal. So now I am defining here my voice. Number of resistances are said to be in series if same current pass through all of them. So I1 should be equal to I2 should be equal to I3. In that way, if it goes on, then we say those resistors are said to be in series. So here this can be called as equation 1, which we are going to use in future. And that current which is passing through all of them, or total current, we write it as equivalent current, EQ, equivalent current. Reason you will understand in future. Similarly, here if I have a current I and it goes into this as I1, this as I2, and this as I3. Here, whatever current 10 amperes comes into this goes to 2 and 6 like that. So it splits. So in this case, current splits. So I equivalent will be equal to sum of currents. I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus dot dot dot. So there is a power problem, 2 minutes you wait, I'll adjust the exposure. Okay, we'll continue. So this can be called as our equation. I'll call it as 2 because 1 is different here. Suppose in pushing the energy from here, in doing some work going from here to here, that potential difference, anyhow, I think currents are same. So while going from here to here, the charge has gave up some energy. Energy gave up per unit charge is called potential difference. So here potential difference is V1. Next, while passing through this point to this point, that is fan has consumed some energy. Now bulb is consuming some energy per unit charge is called potential difference. So this is V2. And now we have a refrigerator that is also going to consume energy. So this potential difference is V3. Charge, energy consumed per unit charge is potential difference. So these are 3 potential differences. Now in this case of series, V equivalent is sum of V's, V1 plus V2 plus V3. So goes on. This is your equation number 2. Now in this case, I have a point. From this point, let it be fan, bulb or anything is being connected like that. Different energies are being used up like that. We can't say it because the energy difference between these 2 points is same. Potential difference is same. Currents are different. Their currents are same, potential differences are same. So V. So in this case, V equivalent will be equal to V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3 is equal to so on. This is your equation number 1. So 1 becomes 2, slight difference is there. So between these 2 points, the battery or the socket what you have maintained gives out same energy, whatever may be the resistor. So in that process, one consumes more current, other consumes less current depending on that. If at all you connect them in parallel, if at all you connect them all of them in series, all of the current passing through all of them will be same. So we have written this and this. Now student may be asking, what about V is equal to IR? V is equal to IR or I is equal to V by R is a general definition, always applicable. So you can apply this for this section, this as well as this. Then what happens? In place of V equivalent, I can write I equivalent, R equivalent. V1 can be written as I1, R1, individually true, plus I2, R2, plus individually true, I3, R3. This is a new equation. But I equivalent is equal to I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3 as per the definition. Current is same. So this current, whatever is there in LHS and RHS is common and cancelled. So we get resistance equivalent in series is R1 plus R2 plus R3, direct addition. So equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the individual resistances. Now in this case, exposure again changed, power has come, so I am changing it. Just a minute. Okay, we shall continue. So here currents are to be added. So you understood that potentials are same. So this equation we have to use it later on. Now what I can write it is same. V is equal to IR, which implies I is equal to V by R. So this I can use it here, here, here as well as here, because that equation individually holds true for every given resistor. Separately you are tried. What is total that we are going to get now? I equivalent can be written as V equivalent by R equivalent, V1 by R1 plus V2 by R2 plus V3 by R3 goes on if at all more number of resistors are there. And just before this we rubbed off, we written that equation 1, that is V equivalent is equal to V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3 is equal to like that. So the points of connection to the battery are same. So battery gives equal potential difference to all of them. Maybe currents may be different. So V equivalent is common for all of them, you cancel it off. 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus so on. This is the derivation for resistances in parallel. This is the derivation for resistances in series. That is the derivation for resistance in parallel. When they are in series, directly you can add the resistance to get the equivalent resistance. When they are in parallel, reciprocals are to be added to get the reciprocal of the equivalent. This is the basic, and while learning this, every student has to understand what is equation number 1, that in parallel potential difference will be constant, that in series current will be constant. Next, number 2, in series potential differences should be added to get the equivalent potential difference. In parallel, current should be added to get the equivalent current. So this I1 comes like this I1, this I2 comes like this I2, this I3 comes like this I3. All of them get added to get back the I. So whatever current split here, that will come back here. In future, this you will study as a Kirchhoff's law and all. That's not required now. Basically, that idea is there. So in next, whenever you want between, for example, this is a resistance. Current in this I1, potential difference across this V1 and R1 are connected by a formula. V1 is equal to I1 R1. Similarly, in this, individually, potential difference across this is V2, current across this is I2, resistance of this is R2. V2 is equal to I2 R2. Individually true. But overall truth is this. In derivations we have used. So, suppose I take this, all these things I want to take it as a single unit. Then individually V1 is equal to I1 R1 will not be used. So you have to take all of them total. We said call it as V equivalent, and the total current whatever is coming called I equivalent, and the resistance what you have totally found out is called R equivalent. Similarly here also, all currents when you add it you will get I equivalent. All potential differences together is called V equivalent. All resistance together is called R equivalent. That R equivalent can be, that's why R total we are not using, because the word total may not be true here. Reciprocals are to be added. That's why we are using a new word called equivalent. That means mathematically what you should consider so that this and that becomes equal. Directly addition may not be equal all the cases. Take a snapshot and copy. Yes students, let us do a simple problem. 3 resistors 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, which are R1, R2 and R3 are connected in series. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 1 ohm 2 are connected in parallel, connected to a battery of 66 volts, connected to a battery of 66 volts. Now how will be the current and potential differences, extra things we have to find it out individually across each resistor. Suppose the procedure is first, step 1, find R equivalent. In this case R equivalent is R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. This is equal to 6 ohms. So equivalent resistance is known. This is nothing but the total whatever is given V equivalent, that is. V equivalent is known, R equivalent is known. Step 2. I want I equivalent. I equivalent is V equivalent by R equivalent. V equivalent is 66 by R equivalent is 6. 11 amps. Current is measured in amps. 11 amps is the current. So from this battery 11 amperes goes out and passes through 1 ohm. I1 is also 11 amps, I2 is 11, I3 is also 11, and that 11 again comes back as 11 amperes. So now through this I1 is 11, through this I2 is 11, through this I3 is 11, because all are I only. Now we can find V1 is equal to I1 R1, V2 is equal to I2 R2, V3 is equal to I3 R3. Individual potential differences we can find. So what is I1, I2, I3? All are 11, 11, 11, 11. We have written for same all of them. But R1, R2, R3 are different. 1, 2, 3. In this is 1, in this is 2, in this is 3. So this 11 ones are 11 volts, 11 twos are 22 volts, 11 threes are 33 volts. So potential difference across this is 11 volts, potential difference across this is 22 volts, potential difference across this is 33 volts. If you add up, you have to get the total equivalent. 11 plus 22 plus 33, you add it, you will get 66 volts. So you have found out what? Once they are given 1, 2, 3 and 66. You have found out equivalent current. First we have found out the equivalent resistance. Using equivalent resistance, you calculated equivalent current because you know equivalent voltage. After getting equivalent current, using that current which is common to all, that principle you have used, that I is equal to I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3. Everywhere you took 11, 11, 11. 11 ones are 11, 11 twos are 22, 11 threes are 33 volts you have written. In this way, we have found out potential difference across each of the resistor. This is the method we have to adopt here. Let us see there. Now what? 66 volts battery is been connected. So first Here step 1, first calculate R equivalent. 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. So for all of them LCM is 1, 2, 3, 6 is the LCM. 1 goes 6 times, plus 2 goes 3 times, plus 3 goes 2 times, 11 by 6. But what is it? 11 by 6 is 1 by R equivalent. We want R equivalent. R equivalent is reciprocal of that. 6 by 11. Isn't it? Now I find step 2. I equivalent. I equivalent is V equivalent by R equivalent. What is V equivalent? 66 by 6 by 11. This 11 goes up. 6 ones are 6, 11s are. So it is 11 and 11 multiplied. 11 11s are 121 amps. Total current coming out to be 121 amps. And the total resistance is coming out to be 6 by 11, less than 0.5. Near about. Okay. So 121 amps. Now we can find individual current in each of them. This current is 121 amps. So how much gone through this? How much gone through this? How much gone through this? This is individual resistor R1. Potential difference across this and this is 66 volts. So I1 is equal to V1 by R1. I told you in parallel potential will not split. So here at this end you will have 66 volts. At this end you have 0 volts. Difference is 66 for each of them. So it is 66 by 1. So 66 amperes. In second case, I2 is equal to 66 by 2. That is 33. In third case, I3 is equal to 66 by 3. That is 22 amps. So add all this 66 plus 33 plus 22. 66 plus 33 plus 22. How much you get? 6 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 1, 1, 9, 11, 12, 121. So whatever current has gone in, that much current came out. So how the distribution was there? The resistor which has having low value has high current, 66 amperes. The resistor which is having high value, 3 ohms, has low current in it. So current goes more, or magnitude of current will be more in a low resistance. Now coming here, whichever resistor is more, there you have more potential difference. So to push the charges from a refrigerator it consumes more energy. To push a charge from a bulb, it takes easy. For example, tube light is 40 volts. So energy consumed is only 40. Once you come to fan, it is 110 volts. And refrigerator may be 330 watts. That depending on its wattage, it will consume the energy, voltage and wattage. So that we will anyhow do it in separate topic. But here you have to understand that the one which has more resistance will have more potential difference across it. The one which have more resistance will have less current in it. So as you know, I is equal to V by R. I and R are inversely related for a given potential difference. So cross multiply, V equal to IR. So for a constant I, V is proportional to R. This holds true. For a constant I, in this I is constant, V is proportional to R. In this case, potential difference is constant, I is inversely proportional to R. This is a simple problem, try to understand. Always step 1 is find R equivalent, step 2 is find the other required things like I equivalent. Take a snapshot. Students, same problem I am doing it. Now I am teaching you on short trick. So before going to short trick, what kind of thing I am going to explain, let me explain. So R equivalent is R1 plus R2 plus R3. If at all I know equivalent resistance, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, which I already found out. Similarly, 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 is equal to 11 by 6, and R equivalent is reciprocal of that. That is 6 by 11. If at all I know equivalent resistance, can I directly find one of the current? Or I have to find equivalent if I know equivalent current, total current, can I find individual currents? This is called current division. What is that called? Current division in parallel. How current divides in parallel connection? Here this is called, for example, I know the total potential difference. Can I directly find out potential difference and one of them? Or I have to first find out current through all of them individually and multiply and get it like that? That question I am answering. Voltage division in series. So you may ask, why are you not teaching current division here? Current, you don't divide here, current goes straight. Once you know the current value is same everywhere. Here potential difference across all of them is same. Current splits. So if at all you have 121 amperes, how much each of them will take? That's the question. If at all you have 66 volts, how much each of them takes? That's the question. Do I have to find all, or I can find a specific one? That's the question. So I am writing here very simple formula. V is equal to IR. In series, I is constant. So the short trick is V of any particular value. For example, I want V3 by V equivalent is equal to R3 by R equivalent. Using this formula, we can find directly V3. Directly V3. Similarly, here in parallel, I is equal to V by R. And in parallel connection, voltage is constant, potential difference is constant, V is equal to constant. So I write I1 here, I write R1 here, or I want I3 for example. I3 I write it here, R3 I write it here. In a reciprocal way, you have to write it. I equivalent, R equivalent. This is a formula can be used to directly find I3. So now I am finding V3 here. V3 is equal to cross multiply here. R3 by R equivalent into R3 by R equivalent into V equivalent. What is R3 in this? 3 ohms. But what is R equivalent? 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. Into V, what is V equivalent? 66. 6 1s are 6 11s are 11 3s are 33. So voltage across this, without finding this potential difference, directly I can find the potential difference there. Similarly, I cross multiply this here, equivalent. I3 is equal to R equivalent by R3 into this I equivalent. So what is R equivalent? We already found out. 6 by 11 divided by what is R3 specifically, that resistance 3 ohms into equivalent current which is coming like this is 121 amperes. So there is a main fraction here, so it goes here. 6 into 121 by 11 into 3. 11 1s are 11 11s are 3 1s are 3 2s are 2 into 11 22 amps. So directly I can find, without finding current in this, directly I can find current in this. In this way we can do the calculation. So the voltage, we have learned what? Voltage division in series, that means any specific voltage you can find it out. Current division in parallel, any specific current we can find out. For that, this trick you remember, V is only one formula you have to remember. V is equal to IR, which is already known. I is equal to V by R. In series, current is constant. In parallel, potential difference is constant. These are inversely related, these are directly related. When they are directly related, you write V3, R3, V equivalent, R equivalent. When they are inversely related, I3 here, R3 here, I equivalent here, V R equivalent here. Just write the values. Simplify, get the answer. This is a simple trick. Take a snapshot. Very useful procedure. See students, we have done the tough problem previously, now we are doing the easy problem. Suppose instead of potential difference is 66 volts, we have no current here, 11 amperes is coming. What's the potential difference across this? Common sense says that current is don't split, 11, 11, 11 it comes. 11 3s are 33. V3 is equal to I3 R3, nothing to find even equivalent resistance. This is a more simplest case. I3 is 11 3s are 33 volts. Similarly, if at all you know potential, instead of knowing current, if you know potential, previously we have split the current. Now we are splitting the potential difference, 66 volts. This, there is no resistance in between. So this is also 66 volts, this is also 66 volts, this is also, this point will be at an energy of 66 volts. This point will be 0, 0, 0. Potential difference should be, difference when you make it should be 66 minus 0, it should come 66. The bigger bar represents the given value, the smaller one you can take 0. You can take any difference. Basically we take like that. So now this point is at a potential of 66, this point is at a potential of 0, and you want current. I3 is equal to V3 by R3, that is delta V3. So change is 66 minus 0, potential of this, subtract potential difference. Higher value minus lower value, you have to do it. Current, when it always flows from higher potential to lower potential, divided by that resistance 3. So 22 amps. This is a easy procedure. By knowing potential difference, finding current is easy in parallel. Knowing current and splitting is difficult. That I told you previously trick. Here, by knowing current and finding potential difference is easy in series. But by knowing potential difference and finding equivalent potential difference, and finding individual potential difference is little difficult. Splitting, that's called voltage division. This is called current division, which we have done just previous problem. You are lucky because something which is constant, it is known. So everywhere it is same. You are lucky here. Potential difference is constant everywhere. So 66 minus 0, 66 minus 0 by 1, 66 minus 0 by 2, 66 minus 0 by 3 will give you quick answers. The students are given two simple problems. Let me see. This resistance is A, this is RA and it is equal to 2 ohms. This resistance is RB, that is equal to 3 ohms. Find several things. So R equivalent they are asking you to find. R equivalent is R1 plus R2 in series, that is 2 plus 3 in series, that is 5 ohms. Now they want IA and IB. Already they are given that current I is incoming. So same current passes through both of them. So this is already known to us, 2 amperes and 2 amperes. Now VA is IA into RA, 2 into 2, 4 volts. VB is IB into RB, same current but resistance is different, 2 into 3, 6 volts. So V equivalent is VA plus VB. Whenever in series, potential differences are to be added, current remains constant. So 4 volts plus 6 volts, that is equal to 10 volts. So here this ends will be at a potential difference of 10 volts. Simple way, I didn't take much of time, you can understand that. Here, whenever you have two resistances, calculation of R equivalent is very easy. You can by heart this method. 1 by R1 is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, R equivalent. So LCM is R1 R2 product. R1 goes R1 times, so you will get R2 plus R1. Reciprocate this. R equivalent is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. This you can by heart it whenever two resistances are there. This kind of formula is not applicable when you have 3 resistances, 4 resistances like that. When you have it, you can't apply that. So here R equivalent can be quickly done. RARB, you can use that formula. 3 into 6 by 3 plus 6. 3 into 6 by 9. 3 1s are 3 3s are 3 1s are 3 2s are. R equivalent is 2 ohms. Remember one thing. Whenever you find equivalent resistance in series, the final value comes more than individual values. So 5 is more than 2, 5 is more than 3. Whenever in parallel you do a calculation, individual resistance is 6 and 3. The value what you get will be less than 6, will be less than 3. So the equivalent resistance in parallel will be lesser than individual resistances. Equivalent resistance in series will be more than the individual resistances. Similarly, IA and IB. So using this R equivalent, I equivalent, we can find multiplication of that. 6 2s are 12. That is V across A, that is V across B. So V across A, V across B is I A. Okay. Let me find out. Potential difference is required for us. Potential difference is 6 2s are 12. 12 by 6, 12 by 3. V by R, V by R. I write it. VA by RA, VB by RB. So here VA is potential difference is 6 into equivalent resistance, whatever you find. 6 into 2 is 12. 12 by 6, 12 by 3. 12 by 6 is 2 amps. 12 by 3 is 4 amps. 6 amperes total. That's what is 6 amperes is split into that. VA is also 12 volts. VB is also 12 volts. V equivalent in parallel it is constant. So this is 12, this is 12, this is also 12 volts. I equivalent is sum of currents I1 plus I2. Individual currents 2 amperes plus 4 amperes, that is equal to 6 amperes. So if they give current, you should be able to find the potential differences. If they give current, you should be able to find the potential differences. You should be able to split the current. These things are elementary required things in series and parallel circuits. The students, I have taken a problem. I have made a lot of calculations and took out some numbers which are easy to do calculation. Any number you can take it. So let me take the basic circuit is this, which has 7 ohms, 2, 3, 6 are in parallel, then again 5 ohms, 2 ohms and 4 ohms are in parallel, and 9 ohms. These all resistors are been connected to 300 volts. Like F1 is equal to m1a is wrong, net force is equal to mass times acceleration is correct. So all forces put together create an acceleration A. Similarly, individual resistor, if you take say 4 and divide with 300, you get current, that is meaningless. All put together we want single resistor, that will be the R equivalent. So individual resistance and this should not be divided. Similarly, now some permissions are been given. This 5 ohms, this 7 ohms, this 9 ohms are in series. So I can write them side by side. 5, 7, 9 in ascending order I have written. Doesn't matter, any order you can write it. Next, this 12 and 4 are there. I write 4 above, 12 below. I can write like that. But I am not supposed to change number at this side, write 9. That is not accepted. Similarly, this is 2, 3, 6. I have written 6, 3, 2. Nothing will happen. Answer comes same. Now 5, 7, 9 as it is I written. 4 and 12, I told you their method. How to find equivalent resistance when they are in parallel. R equivalent is equal to R1 R2 12 into 4 by 12 plus 4, 16. 4 1s are 4 4s are 4 1s are 4 3s are. So this comes out to be 3. Similarly, you do 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. LCM is 6. 1 time plus 3, 2 times plus 2, 3 times. 6 by 6, that is equal to 1. Reciprocate 1, you will get 1. So now we got everything. And this 300 volts, I continue it. Now I can write I equivalent is equal to V equivalent by R equivalent, where R equivalent is sum of all these. V equivalent is 300 by sum of all these things. 9 plus 1, 10, 7 plus 3, 10, 5. So it's 25. 25 ones are 25, 100 lo 4 times, 8 is 12 times. So it is 12 amperes current is going to come out now. 12 amps. This 12 amps has to pass through 5, 7, 9, 3 and 1. And it splits here. It splits here. But again you will get back the same 12. So 12 5s are. So across this there will be a potential drop of 12 5s are 60 volts. 12 7s are 84 volts. 12 9s are 108 volts. So there will be a drop of 108 volts here. Next I am rubbing with this. Here across this point and this point there will be a potential drop of, how much this was actually, don't see this 4 and 12, that was actually 3. 12 3s are 36 volts. Next, don't see individually 6 3 2, that all combination was 1. 12 ones are, so across this there will be 12 volts. Now we might have done correctly or wrongly, we don't know, but if you add all of this you should get 300. So I'll do it. 60 plus 84 plus 108 plus 36 plus 12. 6 plus 4 10, 8 plus 2 10, 20. 0 2 here, carry 2 plus 1 3, 3 3 6, 6 6 12, 12 is 8 20. 0 2, 2 plus 1 3, yeah, 300. So what, we have not done any mistake till now. We have not done any mistake as of now. So this is right. Now there is another way of getting into this. So 300, yeah, this point will be at 300 volts. This last point will be at 0 volts, as I told you just one problem before. So the bigger dash you can take as a total value and the smaller dash you can take 0. Difference comes out to be 300. That is called potential difference. So here it is 300. This point will have 300 volts. From that, as it comes out of 7, how much it drops? So here 7 drops 84. 300 minus 84. So 6 1 216. So this point will be at 216 volts. 216 volts. After that 236, this one 236, that has a drop of 12 volts. Minus 216 minus 12. You have to do it. 6 by 4, 204. So this point will be at a voltage of 204 volts. I am not able to write volts because place is not sufficient. I would have taken the full board advantage. I wanted to do calculations that. Okay then. Next we have phi. Across phi there is a drop of 60 volts. 204 minus 60. 4, 10, 4, 144. So this point would be at a voltage of 144 volts. I am rounding it voltage part. Next 12 and 4. 12 and 4. There is a drop of 36. 144 minus 36. So 14 minus 6. 8. 0. 108. So 108. So this point would be at 108 volts. Next 9 ohms. Across 9 ohms there is a drop of 108 volts. So 108 minus 108 volts. 0 volts. So this is 0 volts. This point will be at 0 volts. Now we have found out potential difference across each of them, across every one of them. Now we can find currents. See this, I'll take a take snapshot if you want. Now very interesting things I am going to do. Current across 7 ohm resistors I call I7. That is equal to potential difference across 7. That is 300 minus 216. 300 minus 216 divided by that voltage 7 ohm, that resistor. I is equal to V by R, potential difference by resistance. Potential difference directly, if you know 84, you can directly write it, this one. So it is 84 by 7 amperes. That many amperes you will get it here. 7 ones are 7, 7 ones are 7, 2s are 14. 12 amperes current. This one, 12 you got it. Next, I across 2, 3, 6. I2, I3, I6. All of their potential difference is same, 216 minus 204. Or they were under a potential difference of 12 volts. 12, 12, 12 by 2 ohms for I2, 3 ohms for I3, 6 ohms for I6. 12 by 2, 6 amperes. 12 by 3, 4 amperes. 12 by 6, 2 amperes. Add all of them, you will get back 12. That means current here 12 comes. That 12 splits into 6 amperes, 4 amperes, 2 amperes, and again rejoins as 12 amperes. Next, current across phi, I phi, is potential difference across the phi, that is 204 minus 144 you can do, or if you already know across phi it is 60, that you can write 204 minus 144 divided by current, that resistance. How much is that? 60. If you subtract also you will get 60 by 5. 12 amperes. Again current through 5 amp is 12. Next, what else we have? 12 and 4. I12, I4. What's the potential difference across 12? 144 minus 108. Like this you go or like this you go? 144 minus 108. 144 minus 108 divided by 2 ohms divided by 4 ohms. What is 144 minus 108? We already know it here. 36 by 2. 36 by 4. So what's the current? Something is going wrong, isn't it? 12. I did 2. 12 it is. 12 ones are 12. 3s are 3 amperes. 4 ones are 4 9s are 9 amperes, because I wanted this addition to be 12. So here 12 ampere current comes here, splits into 12 ohms and 4 ohms. In 12 ohms it will be 3 amperes. In 4 ohms it will be 9 amperes. Last, across 9 ohms. 9 ohms is 108. So I9 is equal to potential difference I can make 108 minus 0, that is 108 divided by 9. 9 ones are 9 12s are 12 amperes. So that current comes back as 12 amperes, starts here as 12 amperes, comes back here as 12 amperes. In this way, a very good problem. It took a lot of time for me to create numbers in such a way that everything gets proper, fractions are avoided and everything you get integers like that. I created the problem. But this problem, the analysis, potential difference is 60 volts, but across 5 ohms, it is 204 minus 144. The difference is there. I can keep 5 here, I can keep 5 here. Difference comes same. That way, many things I told in this problem. I told that 7, 5, 9, they are at different places, but you can put them in 5, 7, 9 like this. According to your ease, you can arrange them. Second thing I told, when they are parallel, 2, 3, 6, you can write 6, 3, 2 like that I told you. 12 and 4, you can write 4 and 12, I told you. Finding the equivalent resistance, I told that individually any one of the resistance take 9 by 300, that you should not do. You should know across 9 what is the potential difference, what is the potential before 9, what is the potential after 9. That potential difference is very good. Don't take potential difference across here and that point. Across the given resistor, what is the potential difference? By that resistance gives you current in that wire, in that gadget. So this problem repeatedly see more number of times and take the original circuit, draw, redraw, reduce, calculate, find potential difference across each of the resistors, find potentials of each of the points, find currents in each of them by subtracting potential difference concept. This is a very good problem. Please don't ignore it. Yes, students, there is another trick called assigning potentials method. Even this can be applied at school level. For example, you have these resistances. Without finding R equivalent resistance, can I find current in one of them? Say I want current in this 3 ohms. I am not finding anything except current in this. So how to find? There is a method. So 12 ohms is there, there is no drop, there is no energy consuming gadget here. So up to here it is 12 volts only. Here it is 0, here it is 0 volts. That's called assigning potentials method. There is no gadget here, so 0 ohms, 0 volts. So like that we kept it. In between there is a point called junction where there is a split. That is unknown to you, that you call X. That you call it as X. You have to write one equation going outward from X. X to this path, X to this path, X to this path. So I write X minus 12 by resistance below that 4 plus, this is nothing but potential difference by resistance, that is current, plus X minus 0 by 3 plus X minus 0 by 6. This is nothing but we have found out individual currents, and at junction there will not be any charge accumulated. That is called Kirchhoff's law. So whatever current comes goes away. At junction there is no stagnation. So total sum of the current should be equated to 0. And now find X. So take LCM. For 6, 4 and 3, 12 is the LCM. 4 goes how many times in 12? 3s are 3x minus 12 3s are 36 plus 3 goes 4 times 4x plus 6 goes 2 times 2x equated to 0. 12 into 0 is 0. So you got an equation with x values and some 36. 3x plus 4x, 5, 6, 7x, 8x, 9x. 9x minus 36 goes that side, becomes plus 36. So x is 9 1s are 9 4s are. So this x, which was unknown to us in the beginning, is now known, and it is 4 volts. So current across this I is equal to potential difference 12 minus 4 by 4. 12 minus 4 is 8 by 4. 2 amperes. Similarly across this 4 minus 0 by 3, that is 4 by 3 amps. 4 minus 0 by 6, 4 by 6 amps. You may get confused, sir, is it true what you have found out? Incoming current is 2 amperes and you are telling this is 4 by 3, this is 4 by 6. Add and see. 4 by 3 plus 4 by 6 is 6 LCM. 3 goes 2 times, 2 4s are 8, plus 6 goes 1 times 4. 12 by 6, 6 1s are 6 2s are. So that 2 amperes is splitting into 4 by 3 and 6 by 3. It rejoins here as 2 amperes, comes back into the battery. So from battery, the charge flown out is 2 amperes by taking energy. It give up at a different places some energy. Here it dropped the energy of 12 minus 4, 8 volts. Here it dropped the energy of 4 volts, here it dropped the energy of 4 volts, and the charge carrier comes very loosely as if it has lost all the energy, again come into battery, gain up the energy. So 12 amperes come in again. Is it 2 amperes? 2 amperes come in again. This is a very, very good method. I don't know why it has been avoided at school levels, but at every level you can do it. This method is called assigning potential. If you don't know something, that point you call x, y, z like that. Solve the simultaneous equations. Once you get that values, see here, one important point is in this trick, we didn't use equivalent resistance. We didn't find equivalent resistance anywhere. You see, every resistance is as such. We didn't use 1 by R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2, 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. I didn't use it. So that is the important aspect of this thought process. It's not a trick, it's a basic concept, it's a law, we used it. That's Kirchhoff's law. See this problem multiple times, all the problems, and try to do them, then you get more idea.